Hey y'all, it's Summer Dawn, and thanks for crafting with me on Faithfully Dawning Designs. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and then click the bell to get notified of each one after. So today we're doing a large lantern, and I'm showing you here where I trimmed the popsicle sticks, and then I brad nailed them onto this piece of wood to create the base for my giant lantern. Afterwards, I went ahead and pulled out these long dowels that I picked up at Dollar Tree. They're about a foot long. I hot glued them into each corner, gave them about a couple seconds to set, and moved on to the next one. I will do this in each corner to create the base. And then when I get done with this part, I will show you how the lid fits, which I will show you how I did that later on in the video. So the other thing I want to add here is this was a scrap piece of wood. I was just super lucky that it just happened to fit right. I wasn't sure if I was going to have to trim it down. So you will have to trim a piece. I want to say it's about 6 inches wide all the way around. So 6 inches is going to be your measurement for that. Then you will see here where I get the lid and I set it on top. Make sure that all the different dowels fit inside of it, and luckily it was the right measurement. After that, I am showing a video here how I trimmed all the rest of the popsicle sticks. Now I trimmed a lot more of them than I actually needed to use. You will need about 8 popsicle sticks, I believe, to go up the sides, and then the 4 that go around the bottom edge. So here is where we're seeing where I'm showing you all my different supplies. For some reason I ended up now using those little squares, and I am then painting this piece. I got this at Dollar Tree. It was one of the shadow box frames, and I just simply took it apart, peeled off the old stuff, and then just painted over the top of it with some Waverly chalk paint. After it had dried, I went ahead and glued it into the other frame, and then naturally, oh, there's a little trick right there. Put a drop of glue on your old glue stick and put it in the other one, and it will stick better and feed through the glue stick or glue gun better. Sorry. So anyways, I go ahead and paint the frame. I think next time I make this project, I'm going to do everything in elephant gray just to make it a little bit easier for the galvanizing painting part. But I do go ahead and paint this entire piece white and then set it to the side to dry. Afterwards, I had this little plaque piece that I painted white and put on top, and the little part that you saw that had the chicken on it, I just cut off that chicken in the previous little scene and flipped that upside down and glued that to the top, and then glued the little plaque to that. This is where I am, of course, putting in the rope handle. So you'll see that I put a drop of glue, and then I put the rope, and then I use a staple gun and I staple it down. After I did that, I just found a piece of black paper and rolled it up. There, you see it right there. I rolled it up, trimmed it down, and basically just kind of wrapped it around there, made sure it would look nice. And then I just put some glue on either edge and some glue around it and glued it down. There's me rolling it one more time just to make sure it was going to have the right shape. And then you see how I put the glue on the side, and then I just kind of wrapped it around. I also made sure to kind of use my fingernail and kind of tuck it under a little bit. That way it looked a little bit more like it was wrapped around the rope versus just sitting over the top of it. I wanted the rope to kind of span out a little bit more, so I added a little extra drop of glue to kind of make it go a little further out, a little bit wider. And there you have your handle. Now, here's where I messed up. I forgot to hit record and I missed putting together the entire video here. So as you see, this is our bottom piece. We had our single dowel, and I took, you know what, let me correct myself. You will need a total of 16 popsicle sticks. I am so sorry, I'm being completely wrong on that previous statement. So you put 2 sets of popsicle sticks on either side of the dowel, and then another 2 sets on top of that. What I ended up doing was putting an extra dowel on either side of the popsicle stick as well. So you can see that second and third dowel on the outside of each popsicle stick. And so it's 2 popsicle sticks tall and 3 dowels used on the inside. Those are just glued in place and then painted over the top. So here you see where I'm doing the galvanizing. Now I wanted mine to look a little bit more aged, a little older, a little bit more worn out. So I went with a lot darker grays and blacks. This is a metallic black that I'm using. It did not have as much of the metallic sheen as I was really going for, which is why you see me flip to the gray. The gray is just a pewter by Apple Barrel. And I went over that pretty heavily, and then I went back in with the black afterwards and kind of accented with the black more than anything. Like I said, next time I think I'll start with the base of gray and then use some other colors to give it a little bit of a lighter galvanizing. I think this came out a little bit darker than I was going for, but I still really, really liked it. So after I got done with this, I used a makeup wedge sponge for this, by the way. After I did that, I used a tiny little paintbrush and I went through and I touched up all those little edges, and I kind of mixed up the different colors and just kind of put different speckles of it in different places. And then I got a fresh makeup wedge after I was done with all of this, and I repeated the same process to the inside. As you can see, I also did a set of popsicle sticks along the top of the lantern just to give it a little bit extra strength and structure to hold it in place a little bit better. And I simply put that over the top of the dowels because I managed to make the popsicle sticks just long enough for that. So here you see I am now going over the lid of the lantern. Again, I'm doing the pewter as the main base color. And then I will go back afterwards and I will use the metallic black, and I also use the metallic silver to kind of add a little extra, you know, shine and eye catch to the entire thing. And then I went back through with my paintbrush again and I went around all the edges and all the creases and made sure to get over everything. I even went over the little piece of paper. So here's the final result. You can see the metallics catching the light a little bit and shine a little bit. That's it on my console. And what I also ended up doing is I put, if you go to Dollar Tree, they have cutting boards or cutting sheets that one side it's really, really clear and the other side it's kind of foggy. And I took 2 of those and I cut them to size, and I simply folded them and set them inside there. So it gave it this really foggy, old, just old glass look to it. And I really liked how that came out. I thought it really gave it a really good edge. So there you have it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time.